There's just excuses. Hi, I'm Rachel Lynn, and I'm working on paying off my student loan debt and losing some weight along the way. I'm also here to give you tips, tricks, inspiration, and motivation along your debt-free and weight loss journeys. Today is my monthly check-in on my weight. This is all part of a Health is Wealth collab that both Rebecca from Quest to Fire and Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom, we have kind of gotten together to talk about our health at least once a month and to kind of check in with that. So I highly encourage you to check out their videos as well and see how they're doing. Money Mom is a couple of months ahead of us. She started checking in quite a while ago, and then Rebecca and I have only checked in it wasn't really a check-in, it was basically like our starting point, and this was just a couple of weeks ago, so we are fresh into this. You definitely want to join in while we are just starting out, just to see how far we come. We are all doing things just a little bit differently, and today I'm going to be talking about excuses. So since I talked about my weight story, which was just a couple weeks ago, I kept thinking of excuses. I keep giving excuses why I can't get things done, why I can't exercise, why I can't eat right, just excuses, excuses, excuses. So I thought that starting out on this journey, because technically, yes, I am still starting out, I thought that this would be the perfect time to discuss what it is that is holding me back when it comes to my weight loss. Oh, and I am going to check in with my weight at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned until then. So I put together a whole list under different categories of different excuses that I've made in the past, different excuses that I make in my head, and I'm just going to kind of like talk them out with you and see if maybe I can either solve them or find ways to overcome them. Before I get started on my excuses, I would love to know, what are some excuses that you tell yourself? Whether it's for weight loss, whether it's for saving money, getting out of debt, or whether it's just like trying to get work done. What excuses do you give yourself? And then I want you to think about that excuse and how you can change it, because that is the whole point of this video. The first kind of category that I'm going to start with as far as excuses are concerned is food. So even that is broken up into separate categories, and I'm going to start with groceries. My biggest excuse for not buying healthy groceries and healthy food is that I don't purchase the groceries here at this house. I live with my parents, and they pretty much buy all the groceries, and I kind of allow that because it saves me a lot of money by not purchasing groceries. That also brings me to my second point, and that is it costs me a lot more money if I'm going to go and purchase my own things. I also kind of have the excuse where if I purchase something, somebody else might eat it. But if it's something that goes in the fridge or the freezer, or even if it's just like something too big to keep in my room, I don't know, even if it is something that's in the pantry, if I put it out into the kitchen, somebody else could very well eat it. I think sometimes that has actually happened, but most of the time I just end up buying stuff that's like non-perishable. The healthier foods are those that are going to kind of go bad faster and probably need to be kept in the refrigerator. Another excuse I have that has to do with groceries is that even if I buy my own stuff, tempting foods are still going to be around. My parents are going to buy things that they like and that they enjoy eating, and just having those things around is very hard for me. When I've lived on my own in the past and I was trying to eat better, I just wouldn't buy unhealthy foods, and that would actually really help me to stay on track. There's still tempting foods here, so it's like no matter what I do, it's still here. Another excuse I have is that it takes a lot of time to go to the grocery. It takes time to plan what I'm going to buy, and it takes time to get to the grocery, and I also really hate going to the grocery. I've never been a fan of grocery shopping. Plus, if I do go grocery shopping, I'm tempted by more things. By not going to the grocery at all right now, then I don't see other items at the grocery store that I want that has nothing to do with food, but it's something else that I'm tempted by. Well, I'm already at the store, I'm already spending money here, I'm spending money today, I might as well go to another store and spend money somewhere else. And so it just like, I'd kind of like to try to debunk some of these, put that in my head so that going on into the future, I can make better choices. So first of all, I just have to get over the time aspect, because all good things are worth the time, right? The cost issue has been a huge factor for me, and actually I received a comment from Nicole Williams here on YouTube. She reminded me that my money is worth my health, and that I could just use weight loss money to kind of like go towards my grocery money. So if I'm going to have like a weight loss category, but I'm not using it anyway, then why can't I just take some of that money, put more money towards my grocery budget so that I can have more to spend on groceries and buy better foods for myself. I think that that was a really, really great idea, and so that kind of eliminates at least a lot of the cost aspects. It just kind of made me think of things just a little bit differently. You know, it is part of weight loss. As far as getting tempted to buy other things, I think that really just comes down to sticking to my budget, which I've been doing very, very well on sticking to my budget for almost 2 years now. I mean, the money's there to spend. As long as I'm sticking to my budget, it's okay. I think the biggest thing here is being tempted by other foods that are around. But I think that having my own foods at home will help a lot with that temptation. As far as anybody else eating my food, I think if I like label it and tell people, please don't eat this, then I don't think they will. So I just have to be clear and upfront about what foods I do not want other people to eat and what foods I am willing to share with the rest of the family. As far as the other foods that are around, if I have grapes to eat, or there's potato chips, I'm going to be tempted to eat the potato chips, but I think knowing that if I don't eat those grapes, they're going to go bad, that's a waste of money. I think that that will be incredibly motivating to me because I bought it myself. But if my parents buy the grapes and the potato chips, I'm not out any money either way if I don't eat one or the other. And as far as the cost aspect, I'm going to try to kind of meet myself in the middle. I'm going to go back to what I was doing before I left my job, and I was purchasing my own breakfasts and lunches when it came to dinner. I would just eat what they were eating, and I would just kind of be okay with that, knowing that I had eaten something pretty good for breakfast and lunch. Moving on to my next category, this is just kind of food in general. Eating with the family can be difficult. Sometimes the meals are great. We might have chicken and broccoli and mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes might not be the best, but the rest of the meal, I mean, it's a very balanced meal, and the rest of it's very, very good. Except that my mom likes to drown the broccoli in cheese and butter, and she also needs to be eating a lot of calories. Her nutritionist has actually told her to eat like a football player and eat all the fat. As long as it doesn't have salt in it, she needs to eat it. And so that's a difficult balance between what my mom needs to eat and what I need to eat. When eating out, I want delicious foods. I don't want to eat the healthy options. Eating out is a splurge, period, in and of itself. Why am I going to splurge on something that like I barely want to eat anyway? If I'm going to eat out, I want to eat something delicious. Not that the healthy foods aren't delicious. I just want to eat I just want the other stuff. Maybe this excuse would go away if I ate out where I pay less often. Now, eating out when someone else pays, that's a whole nother thing, and I'll get to that in the next category. Another excuse is that I just feel hungry all the time, especially when I'm trying to eat healthy. I just feel like I'm not eating enough. For that excuse, I really just need to figure out what it is that my body needs and spend a little bit more time with exercise so that maybe I can eat a little bit more. And I need to do research on, you know, the more filling things. I know that protein is more filling, but how much protein do I really need? And am I really hungry? I need to figure that out. Am I really hungry, or do I just think I am? Another excuse is that it's just too easy to choose the comforting foods. When I'm eating out, I want to try new things, and those are often things that aren't so healthy, especially the stuff that they advertise. As far as choosing comforting foods, I think having healthier foods on hand and ready to eat, I think that would make it easier for me to choose the more healthy options. If it's ready to go, I don't have to think about it, and I don't have to prep anything. And then for eating out, if I want to try new things, actually, I don't eat a lot of the healthier options. So actually, those would be new things for me to try. Moving on to the next category of excuses, this is food when it comes to being free. When food is free, for me, it kind of feels more like a free-for-all. Like, oh, this is free. I can take what I want. I can eat whatever I want, and I can take extra because it's free. I should eat all the things because I actually have a chance to eat all the things, and I don't always get that chance, but this food is free, so I can eat all the cookies and all the cake and all of these things that are bad for me because this is like, it's free, and that doesn't happen very often, but it actually happens way more than you probably think. Especially working in a school, they've got birthdays and all kinds of stuff that just, I feel like there's free food all the time. And you're often encouraged by others to take the extras home with you because they're smart. They don't want to take it home. So then you take it home because it's free and I'm trying to save money, and this is what I should take the free food so that I can save money. It's It's all a trap. And then also like eating out with, you know, if my dad pays for me when we go out to eat. I mean, I don't take advantage of my dad. I try to find something that's reasonably priced. I think with this one, I think I need to realize that free food is usually unexpected. So while it might be a great idea that like, oh, I could kind of save money, that stuff wasn't planned. So why not just eat the planned stuff and go with the plan? And if there are healthy options, I need to take the healthy options. Now I'm getting into excuses when it comes to exercise, and of course this one I have several categories as well. When it comes to exercising outside, whether that's taking a walk or running, anything that comes to exercise outside, the weather. I think when it comes to rain, that is a legitimate excuse. I don't want to go out when it's actually raining. However, even if it's not raining, if it's just wet and the grass is really wet, taking Lucy out, oh, that's a mess. Her underside just gets covered. She's soaked. She pretty much needs a bath afterwards. And so that's a big hassle. It is starting to get colder. And even now when it's like, it might be in the 50s today, I'm like freezing. I don't want to go outside. It's so cold. And now with the time change, it is darker out earlier. And that makes it more difficult because I don't want to go outside when it is dark out for safety reasons. And that is not an excuse. That is just, those are facts. With these excuses, there is, of course, the alternative of exercising inside or joining a gym. So I'm going to move on to those excuses. When it comes to exercising inside, I don't want to disturb other house members. The treadmill is loud. My bedroom is right next door to my parents' bedroom and is also right above my brother's room because my brother lives in the basement downstairs. Although actually he's pretty much moved out. So if I wanted to exercise early in the morning, or no, not early in the morning, but you know, before 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, or after 8 or 9 o'clock at night, then I might be disturbing my parents. Now, there's the other excuse that there's just basically absolutely no room in my bedroom to do any kind of exercises. I basically have about a 2-foot walkway between my desk here until I get to the other side of the bed, and then I have about a 1-foot walkway between my bed until you get to the door. There is no space in here. I also have guilt for not taking Lucy outside because, you know, she needs exercise too. And then I also feel very self-conscious when anybody else is home when it comes to exercising. So for these excuses, I think I need to get over my guilt. I've talked about this before, but I need to get over my guilt with Lucy, especially now that, you know, the light is an issue with the time change and it's getting colder and the weather is not as nice. I think that's easier to get over my guilt when it comes to Lucy. And then as far as disturbing others or being self-conscious, I really just need to get over that. My parents have told me that I am free to get on the treadmill any time of day, that it doesn't bother them even if they're asleep. Not having space in my bedroom is completely legit, but there is space in both the room next door, and then there's a little bit of room out in the main living room where the treadmill and the bike are. I know that my family would be proud of me for doing exercise. I know they would, because they have cheered me on before and try to be encouraging, and so I just kind of need to get over that. The next category of excuses is exercise at a gym. I mentioned at least at one point that I'm thinking of joining a gym. I am still considering it. I think I'm going to do some research on cost and what's available and really do some deep thinking on if it would benefit me or not. But I already have excuses when it comes to the gym, so here they are. It's going to be harder to get myself up and going to the gym than it already is right now because I'm going to have to drive somewhere. Like, there's a whole extra step to getting exercise done. It would be a waste of money if I didn't actually use it, and trying to get out of debt here, especially without a full-time job, I don't want to waste a single cent. I would feel inferior or intimidated by others that are at the gym. And then it will take more time, but that kind of goes back to the first one. Just it's going to be harder to do because it takes more time. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these excuses because I haven't actually joined a gym, but I think what I need to do is do the research, do some cost analysis. What are my options? Where are they? How far are they? What is it going to cost? What opportunities do they provide that I cannot get here at home, such as lifting weights or classes? I really need to do some deep consideration and a lot of research before I make that decision. So I'm not really going to worry about these excuses until I do the research. And then finally, exercise just in general. These excuses are, I just don't want to. I don't feel like it. I get busy doing other things and I forget. I put it off until later. In the mornings, I would say I'm going to do it in the evenings, and then in the evenings, I would say, well, I don't want to do it now because I can go in the morning. A whole domino effect, vicious cycle, whatever you want to call it. I just keep putting it off until later. My ankle or my knee or both, my ankle and my knee, those hurt sometimes. And physical activity, I can definitely tell. Walking or running or doing any kind of exercise does actually make it feel worse. I think for these excuses, not feeling like it, putting it off until later, even forgetting about it, all of that can be solved with just do it now. Just do it now, because later never comes. I think with the I just really don't want to, that one, I need some kind of outside motivation. Like if I exercise so much in, in a week or in a month, then maybe I can earn something for myself, because that would give me a reason to do it when I really don't want to. When it comes to my ankle or knee pain, then what I need to do is find some exercises that I can do no matter how my knee and ankle are feeling. And then that also goes along with maybe possibly if I end up joining a gym, what kinds of exercises can I do there? Do they have water aerobics or some low intensity classes that I could take, or finding somebody that can help me work around those issues. Now that I have talked about all of the excuses that I give myself, ways that I can work around those excuses, I really hope that this will help prepare me so that going on into the future, I can actually make better decisions when it comes to both food and exercise. Please don't forget to leave your excuses down below and how you overcome them. That could really help me out, because there might be more excuses out there that I make for myself that I didn't think of, and I want to be prepared before I even make the excuse, so that I can't do it, and I can just keep on going and actually eat right, exercise, lose that weight, get healthier, because that is the goal. I need to be healthier because health is wealth. Not being healthy costs a lot. Being healthier saves a lot. So now, I don't know if you have been waiting this whole time to see what my weight is. I just weighed, I think, a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I weighed 246. It was either 246 or 246.2. I think I'm going to go with 246.2 because for some reason that sounds right. My weight now, after a couple of weeks, is 246.9. So it did go up 0.7 pounds, but to be honest, I wasn't all that... I didn't try all that hard. I kind of was like, well, I'm waiting until November. Maybe that's an excuse, just waiting until later. That was kind of under exercise, but it goes along with like starting to eat healthy too. Just I'm waiting until a certain date, or I'm waiting until this, or stop waiting, just start now. I do feel like since November has started, I am making some better choices already. I went out to dinner with my parents the other night. We went to a burger place and I chose a grilled chicken sandwich instead of a burger, even though they're actually really known for their burgers and not chicken. And it was actually really, really good. So that was definitely a plus. Haven't bought any groceries yet, but I do plan on doing that soon. And I mean, I gained 0.7 in about 2 weeks, which really I've been gaining like several pounds a month. So I kind of feel like 0.7 in 2 weeks is less of a gain than what I've been gaining. So it's definitely a fail because I gained, but it's not as bad as it could have been, and I'm going to be okay with that. And so I think what I need to do going into the rest of November is just keep making better choices. I don't have to be perfect all the time, but if I make better choices both for exercise and for food, eventually I will get to a good point. I just have to continue to make better choices. So don't forget to go and check out Rebecca from Quest to Fire and Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom to see how they are doing. And unless I have something extra special for you, I will see you at the beginning of December for my next check-in for the Health is Wealth collab. Otherwise, I will see you either tomorrow, Friday, or Saturday for my October budget check-in. So make sure that you are subscribed to see both my budgets and my weight loss. Also, don't forget to like this video. It really helps me out here on YouTube, as well as leaving comments down below. I love reading your comments. I love interacting with you. So make sure you leave a comment and a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.